I've been thinking. I normally use a lot of informal words and expressions during my conversation with friends and colleagues, but I hardly ever use them in the lessons. As a teacher, I often tend to use more formal or proper English, but I think knowing these informal words are just as important. So today's video is about 20 of these words and expressions that you can use in informal contexts. Now, if you'd like to practice these words and expressions, you can make sentences with them in the comment section below and I can check it for you. This is Learn English with Anika. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's get started. Number 1, weird, meaning something unusual or strange. For example, I really like learning weird facts about physics. Weird can be also used as a phrasal verb, as in weird out or to be weirded out. This means when you feel uncomfortable, scared, or confused by something. For example, rude people can weird you out. Number 2, a bunch of. A bunch of something literally means when there's a collection of something together, for example, a bunch of grapes. But in an informal context, it simply means when there's a lot of something. For example, there are a bunch of cars outside my window. Notice the pronunciation of a bunch of. We don't pronounce the preposition of very, very clearly. It becomes something like a bunch of, a bunch of. There are a bunch of cars outside my window. There are a bunch of cars outside my window. Number 3 is super common. Stuff. Stuff simply means thing. For example, you can learn a bunch of cool stuff from this book. Have you ever read it? Number 4, thingy. We call something thingy when we don't remember or we don't know how to call it. For example, what's that thingy on top of a rooster's head? For your information, it's a comb. Number 5, dude. Dude simply means a guy or a man. For example, yesterday on the subway, I saw a dude waving at me. And then I realized it's one of my students. It's really hard to recognize people with their masks on these days. Did it ever happen to you? Dude can also be used in conversations when you're addressing someone that you're close to. For example, dude, where were you last night? Number 6 is to ace something. If you ace an exam or an interview, you do excellently at it. For example, I hope you aced that English exam. Number 7, nuts. Nuts simply means crazy or mad. For example, it drives me nuts when people cut in line. It's so annoying. What about you? What drives you nuts? Number 8, to mess up. To mess something up is when you make a mistake or mishandle or mismanage a situation. For example, I tried to make this Korean dish once. It's delicious, but I put too much chili in it, so I messed it up. It was too hot and spicy, and I was literally sweating from it while I was eating, so I totally messed it up. Number 9, come on. Come on is an exclamation, and when you say this, you mean that you don't believe the other person, or you don't agree with the other person, or even show that you're angry with them. Come on can also be used when you're trying to encourage someone to do something. For example, come on, you can do it. Number 10, chill. Chill means to be relaxed or easygoing. For example, I have a colleague who is a very chill guy. Chill can also be a verb when you relax, simply. So for example, when it's a weekend and I don't have much to do and it's raining outside, so I like to chill with a cup of tea and a very good book. What about you? How do you prefer to chill at the weekend? Number 11, to freak out. If someone freaks out or something freaks them out, they feel confused, surprised, upset, or angry. For example, the very first time I remember when I started teaching in front of a class, I totally freaked out. It was a very scary experience for me. But after all these years, after 8 years actually, I can actually look back and laugh at it. So I don't freak out in front of a class anymore. What about you? What is something that has freaked you out? Number 12 is an exclamation. You probably have heard about it. Whatever. Whatever is basically when you don't want to discuss something any further or when you just don't care. Be careful about this one because it can come off as offensive or impolite. Number 13 is also a very common word. You may have already heard about it. Awesome. Awesome simply means excellent or really, really good. For example, you look awesome in that shirt. Number 14, wanna. Wanna is a lazy version or a short version of want to. Be careful about this one though. It's only a substitute for want to and not wants to. So we can only say I wanna, you wanna, we wanna, or they wanna. But when it comes to he or she, he wants to or she wants to is only correct. For example, I want to go hiking next weekend. What about you? What is something you really want to do? Similarly, gonna is a shorter version of the auxiliary verb going to. You may already know that we use going to when we talk about the future. So when we should say it informally or in a short version, we say gonna. Be careful about the pronunciation. It's not gonna, it's gonna, gonna. For example, I'm gonna see my friends tomorrow for dinner. Number 16 is sure thing. We say sure thing when we agree with someone, as if to say of course or certainly. For example, if your friend asks you, can you give me a ride home this evening? You can say sure thing. That is if you actually want to give them the ride. The next expression is I got it. I got it is super common when we want to say that we understand something. So when your teacher is explaining something to you and you understand it and don't need further explanation, you can say I got it. Be careful about the pronunciation. Just like gonna, we're not saying got it, but got it. I got it. So number 18 is gotta. Gotta. Gotta is a shorter version of have got to. This is when you need to do something or it's necessary for you to do something. For example, it's very common to end a conversation with I gotta run, or I gotta go. As a personal example, I gotta finish editing this video before I can upload it on YouTube. What about you? What is something you gotta do? Number 19 is to grab something. To grab something literally is when I have a pen over here, I'm grabbing it. But if you want to say I'm gonna grab some food with my friends tomorrow, that simply means you're gonna buy or eat that food. It can also work with drinks as well. So for example, one of my favorite things to do is to grab some drinks or grab some food with my friends in the evening after work. And finally, number 20 is to be into something. When you're into something, you're very interested in something. For example, as for me, I'm into music, I'm into cooking vegan food, and I'm really into physics. What about you? What is something that you are into? I hope you really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And more importantly, take care of yourself.